Hello, so here's a fun fact. I tried to film this video yesterday. I filmed for a while and ultimately I kind of just gave up because I got stuck. I simply couldn't get past the fact that 100,000 people have died so far with this coronavirus that's spreading around the world. In fact, there's been just this week about 7, 8, 900 a day in my country, and there comes a point where I just don't see stuff like that as like YouTube entertainment. It's such a tricky subject to cover. But I thought about it and I want to continue making this video because not only is this just a significant moment in history, but it's also a significant moment in my life and for many other people's lives. So I guess I want to document it. And for anybody watching from the future, we are currently in a lockdown where we basically can't leave our houses except for 4 reasons: to go to work, but only to carry out essential and key jobs, to help an elderly or vulnerable person, for a medical appointment, or to go out for a daily bit of exercise, a walk or a run, but really nothing more than that. So it is pretty nuts, and I guess I'll start by explaining my own personal situation. Back in January, I just finished working on a film which I'd been a part of since May last year, and I had expected to go on to another one shortly after. I'd met with them and been in discussions with things, but they were still waiting for a few things to happen back over with the studio in America, and they were also watching what was going on with the virus and kind of playing it safe. My start date and many other people's start dates kept getting kind of pushed back and back and back until eventually the film kind of collapsed, and then eventually the entire film industry collapsed. So when this all happened, I kind of packed my bags and went to go visit my mum. This is her house, and I've decided to stay here whilst I looked for work and kind of tried to figure out my next move. And then the lockdown happened, and I've been here ever since. I can't even go back to my flat in London to collect my tripod or other bits of clothes and stuff that I need. But of course, at this moment, that stuff's just not important, and staying safe and healthy is, of course, the number one thing we need to focus on. So with me being back home and obviously worried about money and being unemployed, I was really lucky to land a job at my local supermarket. They kind of took me and several others who were out of work, people who were unemployed, people who were self-employed or had businesses themselves that kind of collapsed or got put on hold. We were all kind of taken in, and we've been given loads of hours, and we get on really well, and we just kind of working hard to try and make it through this. And it is actually really great. I do enjoy working there. I'm working with some great people. We're all like really kind of grateful to be there and thankful because the supermarket kind of saved a lot of us. So being, I guess, in this situation, like so many people, I've had a lot of time to think and reflect, and obviously there's some things I'm missing at the moment. I miss going swimming, I miss going go-karting, I miss hopping in the car and taking my brothers to McDonald's late at night. Up until 2 hours ago, I really badly needed a haircut, but I think Mum's done a good job. She's not cut my hair for about 10 years, so it's quite nice to see that she's still got her skill. So it's a weird time, but there's also been some positives. I'm running every day, I'm spending time with my family, I'm eating healthy, I'm getting better sleep now that I'm not in my flat in London. I think it's clear from the pictures we're seeing online of like photos around the world of countries and cities now that the air pollution is gone, and it's pretty clear that we live in such a beautiful world, and I live in such a beautiful country, and I'm kind of relieved that our planet is getting a slight chance to breathe for a second. And for the first time in a long time, my career is not dominating my week. I've worked 70-hour weeks pretty much for the last 5 years, and as much as I love what I do and I'm incredibly grateful for that work, it is really nice to, I guess, have a balanced life for once. This year hasn't been a very good year for me financially, but of course I'm incredibly lucky to be healthy. I'm incredibly lucky to have the supermarket and my mum and my brothers and stuff. And ultimately, right now, money isn't number one. Being healthy and safe is. I normally tend to worry quite a bit about the future, but I guess right now, because of the circumstances and stuff, it's out of my hands, it's out of many people's hands. You know, there's some kind of obvious ways that it's opened my eyes. You know, family comes first before career. And there's also kind of small observations, like how nice it is to go for a walk with your mum and brothers, and I guess I should be doing more of that anyway, with or without the lockdown. I think from what we're seeing online and on the news and from the people I meet in the supermarkets, that it is clear that there is a lot of humanity out there and there is a lot of community. I've seen lots of people talk about the effect that this lockdown has had on people's mental health, and of course that is a huge thing to be aware of. It's not easy being stuck indoors all the time. You know, my mum and brothers and I, we all have arguments sometimes, and I guess that's kind of natural when you're all stuck indoors together. We're bound to drive each other crazy. But we also know that, first of all, this is all temporary, and it's not going to last forever, and it's nobody's fault. It's not anything we can control, and the best thing we can do is to stay positive whilst this all happens. When this all ends, it will firstly be a huge relief that, you know, people aren't suffering anymore. Do I think that there will be big changes in society? No. I think, of course, this current situation has opened people's eyes, and they will for sure see the things that they're certainly grateful for during times like this. You know, with those short-term releases like restaurants and bars and clubs and going shopping taken away from them, you realise what is important. I think we've been given a chance to stop and assess and reflect and, you know, think, are we happy? Are we satisfied with what our lives were like before the virus and what we will go back to? Are there any changes that need to be made? Are we happy with the direction we would have continued going on had this all not happened? I probably would have just gone from one really tough job to the next. And of course, I love my career. I'm incredibly grateful for it, and I've had some of the best times of my life on it. But what I'm currently experiencing is, I guess, a balanced life where I'm working hard at the supermarket, but also seeing my family and seeing my brothers. I'm exercising pretty much every day, and I'm eating healthily, and I'm gaining weight, which has always been a bit of a struggle for me, being quite skinny. And I'm also catching up on a few things that I've been behind on for ages. Of course, I cannot sit here and say that I'm glad that this happened. It's horrific that 100,000 people so far have lost their lives, and it's, you know, I completely applaud those who are working so hard to fight it every single day. And I am deeply grateful to be healthy. I'm deeply grateful to have my mum and my brothers and the supermarket and everything that's looking out for me, and I'm looking out for them. And of course, I hope that this awareness and this appreciation continues besides when there's just a big virus. Anyway, that's about it for now. Of course, thank you for watching. Please stay safe, and the most important thing to remember in all of this is that it's all temporary. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.